What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com. And in the last Dynasty video, we finished up our first season with Iowa State. We went through our off season, done a lot of recruiting, position changes, all that good stuff. And today we are starting season 2. This is the preseason video for season 2. We're going to look at our schedule. We're going to do some redshirting, look at our current team. We're going to do a little recruiting, and let's just have some fun with it. Let's go ahead and get started. And what I want to do is go look at the schedule first. So I've already made up the schedule. It's an A+ schedule, and we are going to start off the season with Penn State. Obvious storyline here. That was my team before we took over Iowa State. They are still doing their thing, as you could tell by their preseason ranking. And that's going to be a home game. They're going to have, hopefully, a tune-up with Wyoming before we're going to head over to take on Iowa. That's our arch rival. We got to have them on the schedule every year. They're top 10. So the first 3 games are going to be quite the challenge. We do have an open day, and then we start our conference schedule. You go up here, and we're going to start off with at Oklahoma State, and then we get to play Texas A&M for the first time in this dynasty. We didn't play them last year. They're 3rd in the country. They're loaded for bear. Then we go to Colorado, at Baylor, Kansas, Nebraska at home. They're 18th in the country. We do get an open date after that. Then we finish up our season with at Kansas State and then against Missouri. So the good news is Oklahoma and Texas are not on the schedule. The problem is we replaced Oklahoma with Texas A&M pretty much. So it's a daunting schedule, but it's going to be a fun one. Again, I'm really looking forward to take on Penn State, and hopefully we can get a back-to-back win against Iowa, and then hopefully maybe we can pull off an upset against Texas A&M. Either way, going to be a very challenging but fun schedule, to say the least. All right, let's go over redshirting players. Now, I've already done my redshirting, but we're going to go through these. So at quarterback, we're going to redshirt the 2 freshmen we picked up, Mark Dean and then Scott Peoples. We won't need them this year. John Rollins, of course, is our starter. We're going to have Fowler behind him. That's a good situation to be in. Perfect for these 2 young quarterbacks to develop and learn. And by the time we get to next season after that, these guys should be ready. Halfback, so this is an area of concern. We got okay players here, but Big Slaughter is not on the team anymore, unfortunately. He was a great running back for us. He done a little bit of everything. And as you can tell, our best player is Quentin Moore. He played a lot of snap for us last year, and our offense isn't going to change. We're going to do a lot of 2-back stuff and just some things that have gone normal, and that's kind of it. So Whitaker and Callahan are going to be helping us out a little bit more. More than likely, it's going to be Whitaker. But in terms of redshirting, there's nobody to redshirt other than Moore, and we're obviously not going to do that. Fullback, we don't use them. It's unfortunate. We got 2 guys that look pretty decent, especially this kid right here, but he's really slow. He's just a blocker that just doesn't fit the offense. Wide receiver. So we got some bodies here. We got, 8 total receivers? We're going to redshirt quite a few. I've decided to redshirt pretty much all the freshmen for the most part. Kyle Ford, I think he's going to be probably a day 1 starter for us next year, but we just won't need him this year. You notice we got several dudes that are 74 and 76. All these guys are about the same. And I'm going to go ahead and redshirt him. We're also going to redshirt this freshman, Jake Porter, and I'm also going to redshirt the freshman, Charles Williams. So you look at our main starters at receiver, Daugherty, Thomas, and then I'm going to have Miller be my slot receiver. Then we got Brian Walker. Remember, he's like our other tight end. He'll be out on the field as well. But either way, I don't think none of these freshman receivers are going to help us out too much this year. Thankfully, I don't think we'll need him either. Tight end, I'm going to redshirt Vincent Baker. I don't know if this kid will ever see the field. He doesn't really fit what we're trying to do here. He doesn't have the best catch or best hands in the world. I need receiving tight ends, but we'll redshirt him because, again, Walker right here is our other tight end. We like to split the reps pretty much between him and our true sophomore, Ryan Neal, who's going to be a fantastic tight end for us by the time he leaves. Tackle, we only had a couple options to redshirt. I'm going to redshirt the freshman. It's obvious we won't need him this year. And our best tackle, we're definitely not going to redshirt him. Guard, we have a couple options. I'm only going to redshirt one guy, true freshman, John Cox. We're going to have a backup, Pat Smith, a freshman. He will back up. I always like to have 4 active guards at all times, as you can see right there. Center, there's really nobody to redshirt other than our best one, and we're definitely not going to do that. Defensive end, I'm going to keep 4 active at all times. I'm going to redshirt Chris Morrow. I think he can start for us in the next year or so, but as you can tell, I don't think we're going to need him too much this year, especially since we moved Big Bad Bo Broussard down the defensive end because we needed some help there because we're just we're okay a middle linebacker, which we'll see here in a minute. Defensive tackle, as you know, we run a 5-2 defense and some nickel to go with it. We may actually run some dime, but I need a lot of bodies at defensive tackle. I'm not going to redshirt any of these guys. We got 2 seniors and a sophomore, but I am going to redshirt this freshman. I need 5 active at all times, and I think these are the 5 that we'll definitely go with. Outside linebacker, there's nobody to redshirt here. That's pretty obvious. Middle linebacker, I'm going to redshirt this freshman, Javon Higgins. I think he was our regular season commitment that we picked up. We won't need him this year. Maybe in a couple years down the road, we can get him on the field. So I don't know who this kid is, Kyle. I'll have to go back to my previous video and see what happened. Is this like a walk-on? See, I didn't even have to get any extra players on a position. Like, we had enough bodies at every position. So I don't know how this 62 overall guy got on the list, but he's got 95 speed, which is crazy to think about. And his catch is a 65. I'm almost thought about putting him at special teams, like as a returner, and you'll see why here in a little bit. Cornerback, we have a bunch of bodies here finally. I could probably run a little dime instead of having to run so much nickel against those spread sets, because as you know, we run a ton of man defense. I need guys who can keep up with receivers and halfbacks and such. So we have our best corner, Chad Smith, but he can't play this year. He's a transfer. He'll come back next season, but until then, we'll definitely just redshirt him, and we're going to get 2 good years out of him, hopefully. So our starters are going to be Mason Cox, and I'm going to have a true freshman starter at nickel. Daniel Bridges, he's got 94 speed. Again, he will be the nickel. I like the blitz from that position. But we got a couple other freshmen we're going to redshirt. We won't need them this year. And I got another true freshman, Bo Gutierrez. I'm not going to redshirt. I want to keep 4 active at all times. So I may sneak in some dime, and we'll just see how that goes. But either way, I'm really excited about this group. They're just really young, as you can tell. All right, free safety. So this is our biggest problem on defense. We don't have a lot of talent to work with here. Our best guy, I guess, is a 74 overall, Rick Carter. He's only got 78 speed, and again, my defense, I need speed everywhere. I'm almost to the point where I may just burn this kid's red shirt, this freshman. This was an athlete that we moved over. The reason why he is an overall of a 68 is because his awareness is so terrible. That scares me. Awareness actually matters in this game. They kind of know what to do and everything, and I'm just worried to put that guy out in the field with such bad awareness. At least Carter's got at least below average awareness. Either way, it's a bad situation. We're going to monitor this. If Carter plays terribly and he's got the better awareness of these other 2, I may just say, forget it. We'll just play Dodd. Either way, redshirting, we'll redshirt that freshman. Strong safety, we only got 1 guy to redshirt. We're definitely not going to do that. Justin Smiley, he's like our second best defensive player on the team. He was the one that got hurt most of last year. Kicker, we only got 1 guy. We can't redshirt him. He's our true freshman. And then our punter, our top guy, we're not going to redshirt him. So we've looked at the red shirts. Let's go over to rosters. And let's look at our depth chart real quick. So it's going to be pretty obvious when it comes to depth chart. John Rollins is our starting quarterback with Fowler behind him. Halfback, again, I run a lot of 2-back sets, so Moore, and I'm going to have Whitaker be my number 2 guy. So you look between him and then Crawford. You look between these 3. They all kind of look the same. They got about the same speed, but you look over at their catch. One's a 68, one's a 70. Is there a difference between the 2? The reason why I'm going to have Whitaker over Crawford is because he has a much better carry rating. So a combination of catch and carry, Whitaker is the best of the 3. So for now, he's my number 2, but we'll see how he plays. If he drops a lot of passes or whatever, then we can definitely put in Crawford. All right, fullback, again, we don't play those. Wide receiver, so here is my lineup. So Daughtery, he was my Z receiver last season. He was on the right side. I'm moving him over. He's my number 1 going forward. 84 overall. You look at the catch rating, him or Thomas. It's just whichever one you want to put at extra Z. Daughtery's got better awareness, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And besides, he played really well for us last year. I think he's earned that number 1 spot. So he's over on the left side. Thomas is over on the far right. And then we got true sophomore Tommy Miller. Remember, he was our return specialist. Didn't do a whole lot in the special teams, but he is our number 3. He is our slot. I need some speed there, and he's got that. A little worried about his catch. He's a 78, but we'll see what happens after that. So Jackson is my number 4. So as you know, if you watched any last year, I don't run hardly any 4 wide receiver sets. It's either 20, 21, or 11. So I don't know if Jackson will see the field a whole lot, nor Walker, but Walker is our backup tight end. So between Miller and Jackson, obviously Miller's got the better speed. and the catch, he's a little bit better too. Either way, so that is our lineup for receiver. I think they'll probably play about the same as what we had last year. Tight end, so big Ryan Neal, really excited about what he can do this year, but our number 2 guy is Walker, and I'm going to split those two. So Neal's going to have a couple of formations. I'm going to give Walker one, just like we done last year. I think that worked out well. Offensive line, so we lost our starting left tackle. He left early to the pros, but our starter this year, Chris Simmons, I think he's going to do fine. He's an 84 overall, and I got some other tackles behind him. Left guard, Caleb Houston, we're in good shape here. He's a senior, 84 overall. We got a true sophomore, 82 overall in center, Tom Owens. Right guard, 86, Simeon McFadden, great name, 86 overall. And then our right tackle, he is our best offensive lineman, Big Wade White. So our offensive line this year is going to be pretty solid. We got to make the full use of them, though, because we got some seniors that are playing. So 3 of the 5, in fact. So hopefully we can get the most out of them. All right, so this is the defense right here. Big Bad Bo Broussard. We moved him. He wasn't been a linebacker last year. He's now a defensive end. I needed some bodies there. We just didn't recruit well at defensive end, so I moved him down. He was already like a 92 overall middle linebacker last year. Now he bumped up to 99. Hopefully he could wreak havoc and become like the greatest defensive end ever. We'll see. But anyway, excited to have him. And then our starting right end is James Johnson. So we got 2 senior starters at the edge. You look at defensive tackle. So these are all interchangeable. I got 2 guys that are 85 overall, Sims and Lewis. And then I got West and Curtis behind him. So all 4 of these guys are going to play quite a bit. And then we got a 5th guy in Powell. So again, this is what's really cool about my defense is the 5-2. Many people don't run that much. But I enjoy running it. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm looking forward to see what they can do this year. Outside linebacker. So again, we run a 5-2 and a nickel, which means we only got 2 linebackers out there at the most at all times. So all your starters in a 5-2 on the outside, it's going to be at the left outside linebacker position. So what I'm going to do, if you notice, we got 2 guys that are pretty much identical. We got Colton Burton and then Trey Alford. One's a little bit faster. One, I think, is a little bit smarter. So it's kind of interchangeable which way you want to go. What I'm going to do is once we get into their first game, I'm going to have one be my 5-2 guy and the other one be my nickel outside linebacker. I think that's the plan until one of them emerges as like an impact player or something. Middle linebacker. So one of the reasons why I moved Broussard down, obviously we needed a defensive end, but we had a really good backup in this Eric Sanders. He's a junior and he's an 88 overall. So we're going to make most of use of him as we can, but we need some help in middle linebacker in terms of recruiting. We need speed because again, we run so much man defense. We need to keep up with all these skill players running around. Right outside linebacker, you don't have to really pay much attention to this because we only play 2 linebackers at a time. Cornerback, so this is going to be the interesting thing. We're really young, but we're really young. And you can tell by the overalls, we're just not the best here. This is another weakness. Our secondary is not the greatest in the world. But again, they're young, so I have some hope for them. We got a junior here, Robert Mason. He's our slowest of the bunch, but he's the best of the bunch in terms of his smarts. So I'm going to put him as my number 1 guy. Then we're going to have his true sophomore, Scott Cox, on the other end. And then we're going to have true freshman, Daniel Bridges. So he's going to make more of an impact, I think, any freshman this year. He's going to be on the field quite a bit. And then we got Bo Gutierrez, another true freshman. Whenever I want to throw in a little dime, I can do some of that. Especially if we go up against like an empty set, a 5-wide look, we're going to have him out there. Otherwise, I'll probably have to stick with nickel. Free safety, again, this is my biggest weakness on defense. For now, we're going to start Carter. If he doesn't work out well, I may just burn that red shirt of that freshman and just kind of go with it. Again, this speed really worries me. Hopefully, we can find somebody in recruiting to replace him next year. Strong safety, we don't have to worry about this guy. So Justin Smiley Jr., hopefully doesn't want to go pro early after this year, but 88 overall, 93 speed. He's the perfect strong safety for what I'm looking for. Kicker, pretty obvious here, true freshman, Vernon Washington. We need to call him like the president or something. I don't know. That's just so old school. Mount Vernon, Washington. Anyway, pretty cool. Really excited what he can do for the next 4 years for us. And our starting punter is going to be Patrick Henderson with our other backup, Jamal Hughes, behind him. So our kick returners. So what I'm going to do is have Tommy Miller still be my number 1 guy. But the rest of it was kind of iffy. So I got Mark Jackson, a wide receiver. He's not very fast. And I got Daniel Bridges, our nickel. But the catching is the issue. I need guys who can catch the ball. I would love to have Bridges be like my number 2 guy, but he can't catch. We don't need fumbles on special teams, on returns and such. I mean, that's like Cardinal rule number 1, and Miller dropped a couple last year. Either way, hopefully it doesn't do it this year. But I also need speed about pretty much anything else. Speed and catch, that's kind of what you want to put here. And it's the same for punt return. It's going to be the same 3 guys. All right, kickoff, it doesn't really matter here. I'm going to have my punter. He's our best of the 3. And our long snapper, normally I put in my backup center for this, but he's a junior, and I need Owens to have as many reps as possible. And he's just much better. So he's going to be my starting long snapper. All right, that is the depth chart. I'm going to go to view and edit rosters. And we're going to look at our captains. So captains, by default, is usually your smartest dudes on the team that are seniors. So if you sort by awareness, you look at Wade White, offensive player, a right tackle. He is our offensive captain, well-deserved. And then our defensive captain is going to be Robert Mason. He's just a junior. I've thought about putting, we don't have any senior, really great defensive players. He's a junior. Look who's the next one. Eric Sanders. He's really smart. He's got 78 awareness. You keep on going. Here's a defensive tackle that's a junior. Yes, I could go by who the best ones are, but what's really weird is you look at Broussard. Look at his awareness. 62 awareness. That's just a really odd thing to see for somebody who's a senior. Anyway, I'm happy with those captains. Program standards. We are in amazing shape here. We got 45 points to spend. If anybody gets in trouble, we'll be okay there. So I'm not worried about any of this. We over-disciplined the first year, and I think it worked out well. All right, what is next? So the playbook, nothing changes there. We're going to run our Midwest Coast offense. Let's look at Athlon Sports. And let's look at preseason polls. This is the first time I've got to look at this. So Oklahoma, they won the national title last year. Well deserved. They were incredible. And then Penn State's behind him. And then we got to take on Texas A&M this year. And you look at Purdue, Cal, LSU, so on and so forth. Where are we? Ooh, they got us 17th in the country. They got us as a B overall. So we're slowly getting a little bit better. We got a B- offense. Our defense should be a little bit better than the offense, I guess, this year. So we're 17th. Let's go to Heisman Watch. So we know who won the Heisman last year, and that was Big John Rollins. Maybe we can go back to back. The way our halfback situation is, I'm afraid we're going to have to throw a little bit more than usual. And when you got a kid like this, you need to throw the ball. It's obvious. But we got a halfback from LSU, a quarterback from Virginia on the list, a halfback from Texas A&M. We'll face him later on in the schedule, and a wide receiver for Hawaii is on the schedule, or is on the list as well. Let's look at some All-Americans. Preseason All-American. So there's John Rollins. Would we have anybody else? Broussard, maybe? There he is. Yeah, I figured he'd be on there. So we got 2 All-Americans on our team. That's awesome. Do we have anybody else? No. What about second team? I don't think we would. And we don't. We got 2 guys. That's still really cool. But let's go to the conference. All Big 12 first team. So there is Rollins. Daughtery made the preseason first team list. That's pretty cool. Broussard is right there. Would we have any? Smiley, maybe? Nope, he's not on there. Look at Baylor. Looks like they got the best combo of strong safeties. What about second team? We may have somebody on here. We do not. So we're all first teamers. All right, let's go to conference outlook. So the overall, they have us third. Texas A&M and Oklahoma are ahead of us. Then they got Nebraska. We got to take them on. We got Oklahoma. Look at poor Texas all the way down here. I don't feel sorry for them. Texas has really fallen off the map. I don't know what happened. The first 4 or 5 years in this dynasty, remember, you look at the bottom of the overlay, I'm in my year 12 of this file, but they've really fallen off deaf ears for whatever reason. Who knows why? Again, I don't feel sorry for them either. Either way, they got us third, but if you go to the north, they got us predicted to win our division. That's the goal. Try to win that again and figure out who we're going to take on in that conference title game. Toughest places to play. I don't know if we'll be on here anytime soon, but you look at Oklahoma. They're at the very top. There's Texas A&M. I don't think we'd be on this list. I don't know if we'll ever get on there, but it'd be cool to see one day. So we've looked at that. I think we're ready to recruit. So let's go there. So when it comes to recruiting, I've already took my notes. You look here, it says we need, just in terms of bodies, we need some guards. We got 2 coming back next year, and we really recruited that hard this offseason. Apparently, it still wasn't enough. Defensive end, I'd like to get about 1 more there. We need a strong safety, but according to my notes, we need better halfbacks that fit our system. We got some really slow dudes that are just average and are just okay pass catchers, except for Moore. He's okay. But we need help at halfback. We defensive end, let's say free safety is another big need of ours, just due to just talent. And middle linebacker, I feel like we're a little short there. It says we got 4. I think I got a freshman red shirting. That's not the most important. But either way, so I kind of know what to look for. So we talked about the 5 or 6 of the positions we're going after. The next thing, I want to look at our pipelines. I'm hoping it hadn't changed from the offseason, and it shouldn't. So Florida is still a pipeline. I want to keep it as such. We'll keep it a realistic. Yes, it's very far from us, but they were a pipeline when we took over. So I don't mind keeping that. Texas should be another one. Illinois is now a pipeline. That's huge for us. They're right beside us, and it produces quite a bit of talent. You look over here on the bar, there's quite a bit of players coming from Illinois. Of course, Iowa. Now, this is our rule, our main recruiting restriction. We can only go after 4- and 5-star kids from our own pipeline state, or our home state, and we only got one to look at, this defensive tackle. I'm going to go ahead and just put one on him. I think it's obvious. Again, we don't get many chances to go after 4- and 5-star kids. Well, he's the one we're going to definitely go after, and we can always use extra defensive tackles. All right, so we didn't have any more. Again, I think Texas is our only other pipeline. We'll keep on going. Let's see. And Texas is still a pipeline we need it to be. And I think that is it. So the next thing I want to do, I'm going to go just straight to Iowa. Let's just go to our home state first. Get that out of the way. And as we all know, Iowa does not produce a lot of talent, but we do need some help. Here's a defensive end. I wish he was faster, but he could be a future right end for us. So I may take a chance on him, but let's just keep on going. Here's another defensive tackle. I'd rather just look at one for now. Here is a right guard, 6'5", 285, and he's smart. I actually wouldn't mind going after him just because we need some help there. So I'm going to go ahead and put one on him. So the next thing is, which other pipeline do we want to look at next? I'll probably want to go to Illinois just because it's so close. Now let's go by position. So we're okay at quarterback. We got the future there with a couple of freshmen there, and Fowler as a junior, so I'm not worried about that. Halfback. So I'm afraid this is going to be the only place we'll be able to recruit good halfbacks until we just be able to run the ball more. But I need some guys with speed, and we have no idea if they can catch or not by looking at this. So we're just got to take a chance. So here's some 4-star kids we can't go after. Here's a 3-star and another 3-star. I'm going to take a chance on Ray Woods. He's a little faster than Robinson, but he's at least a little bit smarter, but we'll see if he can catch the ball or not. So let's just go ahead and put one on him. Fullback, don't have to worry about it. Wide receiver, let me check here real quick. We got 6 coming back. I think we're okay here. This guy looks the part, and 4'3", 167, but again, that's not a big need for us at the moment. Tight end, that's a 4-star. Can't do that. Tackle, let me just look. We got 4. I could probably think about getting a future tackle. This guy looks like he's humongous. I need some smarts, though. I need guys who are really smart, who can pass block and whatnot. So I may bypass him. If I'm not mistaken, that other guard we looked at probably had a bad awareness, but that's okay. Outside linebackers, let me go. Let's see. Here's a defensive end, 4'7", that's too slow. We're good at defensive tackle. Outside linebacker, we're kind of okay there. I think we're young as well. So I'm fine there with middle linebacker. Here's a 3-star, 4'6". I need some speed here. 4'6" actually may be too slow, which is crazy to say, but for our offense, our defense, we need some speed. Well, here we're good at corner. Otherwise, I'll probably get a kid like this. Free safety, there isn't any. That's unfortunate. We need help there. Strong safety, we need help here. 4'5", this kid's, yes, 4'5", that's more than enough speed for me, for sure. I'm going to go ahead and put one on him. That's probably anything 4'6" or slower I really can't do. For our type of defense. So we've looked at Illinois. Let's go to Texas next. Texas should have plenty of options. We still got plenty of scholarships to give out too. Good at quarterback. Let's look at this halfback. Here's a 3-star kid, 4'6". Let's give it a shot. If you can catch, I'm good with it. And he's strong. He's got a 605 squat, so maybe he can run the ball as well. I don't want to pass 80% of the time. I'd like to have a balanced offense. So his strength, actually, he's a power back. So I'd love to have him. Again, he's got to be able to catch the ball a little bit, though. Wide receiver, we're kind of good there. Again, I'd like to see if they could catch, but that's just not a big need for us. We got a bunch of freshmen anyways. Tight end, if we can find a unicorn, I wouldn't mind trying. So here's a 3-star 6'6" kid, and here's a 6'3", 227. Both look identical. We can go after one. One's a little taller. Let's just go after the taller one. Again, we need some help there because Neal, he ain't going to be here forever. And Walker's a senior. He'll be gone. We're good at offensive tackle. I'm not too worried about these guys. Let's see. Like this A+ guy would be probably worth it. But we need more help at guard. And here's a good one guy. 6'5", 335, and he's really smart. Yes. That's more important at the moment. Let me see here. So we're going after those. Let's see. Center, no. Defensive end. Here is some 3-star kids. I need some speed just of some sort, because you got to remember, we actually run cover 2 out of 5-2, which means these guys actually run around a little bit. I may take a chance on this kid. 4.73 is awful slow, though, so I don't know if I should, but we need help there. I'm going to bypass that. Again, I need some speed. Actually, I wouldn't mind somebody who's much smaller. Yeah, I'm going to bypass that. That doesn't feel right to me. We're good there. Outside linebacker, we're good. Middle linebacker, 4.65. I'll probably bypass on that one. We're good on corner. Free safety, here's a 4.46. I got to take a chance. He's not the smartest, but he's faster than anything we have, other than probably that young freshman we got. And that is it for that. So let's go over to Florida. Maybe we can find 4 Florida guys and we'll be good with the 12 we're going after. So let's go quarterback. We're good here. Halfback, here's a 4-star. Can't do it. Wide receiver, we're good here. You just never know with any of those, but it's just not a big need. Tackle, should I try another tackle? I probably could. Like, here's a kid, A-, 6'7", 320. I wouldn't mind trying that. That looks the part. Guard, 3-star kid, C+. I'm going to bypass him. Defensive end, 4-star. Defensive tackle, we're good. Outside linebacker, like, this kid could be worth it if he wasn't so, his awareness wasn't so bad. But again, we got bodies there. We're kind of young, so we're fine. Middle linebacker, I can't do it. This guy is a 4.73. He's too slow, and this guy's a 4-star. Free safety, no. Strong safety. Here's another 3-star, 4.52. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance on him. And as you can tell, it says we do need some strong safety. So let's go and put one on him. So we got 2 scholarships left. I can go, I mean, we've already went through all of our pipelines. I can maybe try, let's go look at a couple other halfbacks possibly. Like this kid, let's just take a chance on this kid. What else can we go after? We're in Iowa. What about Missouri? Missouri may have something. Let's go to Missouri. Here's a 4-star. Let's just say, let's go to their all page. 4-star, 4-star. They got a 4.46 with B. It's not a big need for us. So what else can we go after? Kansas is pretty close. Nebraska is right there as well, if I'm not mistaken. They don't have a lot of options. Here's a 3-star 4.6 guy, tight end. That could be worth looking at. I don't know. Let me just go to halfback. Again, I'm really worried about halfback. We need some help here. So let me go find another 3-star kid. So let me just go to the all states, and let's go to these 3-star kids. And let's go find a 3-star kid that's kind of close. That makes a lot of sense. Like, here's a kid out of North Carolina, 4.33. I would take a chance on him just because of the speed. Here's a kid out of Indiana, but he's really slow, 4.52. California, Wisconsin, that's not too far. And he's a 4.33. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. Let's go ahead and put one on him for now. Here's a 4.24 out of Michigan. I may take a chance on him. Let's go ahead and try that. Let's get out of that one. Michigan's close enough. Is there anybody else that's worth taking a chance on? Here's a 4.39 out of Michigan. Here's a 4.33 out of Mississippi. 4.48. 4.39 out of Montana. He's the worst of the bunch, apparently, though, according to this list. They typically rank them by how good they are. So we've got all of our scholarships accounted for, so I think we're ready to go. Let's go to Play Week, and let's sim the week. And let's, after that, look at our recruits, and let's go after about 4 or 5 dudes like we normally do. Hopefully we can find 4 to 5 that just makes a lot of sense who to go after. We'll click in-season recruiting. And let's quickly go through and find any positive pitches first. That makes it pretty obvious who to go there. So there we go. So we got one right here. He's a strong safety, Julius Sims out of Illinois, and we need help at strong safeties. That's obvious. Let's just go ahead and put 20 on him. Tight end, if I can do it. There we go. Let's see. Any more positive pitches? And that is it. Only had one guy with a positive pitch, but that's perfectly fine. So let's go up to the very top. And I want to find, so here's this defensive tackle. We got to do it. It's obvious. He's maybe our only 4 or 5-star kid we'll pick up all season. Let's look at these halfbacks. Let's compare. I want to go after one. So this guy's got B hands. This guy's got A- hands, and he's out of Michigan. And he's the 4.24 kid. We may need to go after him. Let's go look at a couple other ones. I think we went after one more. Here's a kid got C hands. That'll be a no. And here's a kid that got C+ hands. That'll be a no. So you don't know until you actually get to this part of the schedule. So we'll go after this kid out of Michigan, Jonathan Doty. Yes, let's go put 20 on him. And then we got to decide where to put the other 40 points. Do I go after 2 more guys, or do I go after 1 more and do 25 for all 4? We're going after the strong safety we like. He's the one that got the positive pitch, so we're going after him. So I don't have to worry about that guy. A guard is probably needed. So here's a kid out of Texas. Awareness, humongous. I think this is the obvious choice. Let's go after him. And then let's go find, here's a tight end. Free safety. Look at this free safety. So 4-4-6, this is a big need for us. I either go after this kid. Is that the only free safety we looked at? It must have been. Or this tight end's got A- hands. But when will this kid ever play? So Neil, he's a sophomore. I don't know if this kid will play for at least 2 more years, maybe. He kind of looks the part, though. What's more important, going after him or getting after a tackle, or this free safety? I'm thinking it's the free safety. I think it's in our. We need bodies here. I wish he was a great body. He could be okay down the line. So let me go ahead and just put 20 on this guy. I think it's worth it. Again, that's more important than anything else. And I never worry about getting tackles. We usually do fine getting those. So I'm not too worried about that. So these are the 5 we're going to go after. We're going to go after defensive tackle Carlos Owens, the local kid out of Cedar Falls. Halfback out of Michigan, Jonathan Doty. Nice little scat back. He can catch and he's super fast. That'll be great for us. A humongous guard. We need help there in the worst way. Strong safety, Julius Sims. That's another area of need, and that's going to be a good pickup for us. I think we'll get him. And then last but not least, free safety Ryan Williams. We just need some help there in general. And 4-4-6 is pretty fast for a free safety. So I'm excited about all 5 of these guys, and hopefully we can get them. All right, that is it for this video. Our next one is against Big Bad Penn State. Going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can beat our former team. They're really good. They got A overall talent. They are eyeing a national title. Hopefully we can interrupt those plans and get an upset win. That would be pretty cool. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.